going to stay long. It was something I forgot to tell you that I'm going to throw in right now. Biggie and Tupac were saying that right now the rappers secretly and people in the music industry, they've been told this is a time. I don't know why I just picked up Lady Gaga. Um, and what they're telling me now, I'm also picking up Biden, Putin, deal with Russia, Venezuela, and Cuba. So I don't know again what's going on with Venezuela and Cuba, Latin countries and Afro Latins over there. But I brought this up to y'all the other day. I told y'all this is coming up to me dealing with the economy and being attacked and sex trafficking and child sacrifice over there, with gas and oil. Hugo Chavez came here last week and told me something that was going on that we don't know about, and that's going to end up coming out in the news. Also, as we're moving towards the summer solstice, Biggie and Pop were telling me that we're in a sacrifice season that you never, even though the artist might get tired of it, you can never stop giving. You can never give enough sacrifice at 1 year or one period of time where there's no more sacrifice. It's sacrifice, he said, it's going to be a big artist or maybe what more than one big artist or maybe one also from the past where they still doing housekeeping gonna be murdered, gonna be killed. And then some of the big artists, they also mentioned Drake. They're going to do they're gonna have to sacrifice somebody or something. If not a lover they have or husband or wife they have, it's gonna be an artist, somebody associated with the industry, unless they had a child just for or children just for sacrifice. Also, Chris Brown uh came up, Lil Durk, somebody associated with Young Dolph. The gatekeepers, because this is the period of it. I'm not sure what award shows are coming up or big TV shows tied to them, but we in the summer solstice. You have to give for the summer solstice, as well as some of these old gatekeepers like J. Bane, Diddy, these older artists that are now very powerful gatekeepers, producers, and handle younger artists. They're saying this is the blood season, the season of the witch. And a lot of these male artists, you don't know, are also witches. They're warlocks, and they have to constantly in what is broken up by quarters, like 3 month periods or 6 months, depending on. And in between that, what we're not seeing, they're doing sex rituals, they're doing freak offs, and they have to either they decide to give, but basically there's a council that you don't see, that you don't know about, that's over the industry, that's also in the industry. They have to decide. Yeah, hey everybody. Oh, the BET is coming up. Okay, and I believe there might be other secret gambling, secret fight clubs with male and female artists and all forms of entertainment where they gamble with each other, they play games with each other we don't know about, as well as having the sexual parties, engagements, and working out contracts and rights and royalties and what do they call that? Where they put the AI bots on the videos for them to get millions of views, and they have the streaming services. A lot of them don't get all of that money, they get percentages, so they have to do rituals for that, and they sacrifice themselves and others for that. So let's watch the news. And as we come up to the moon too, they work on the rituals of the moon, the new moon, the full moon, the waning one where there is no moon and it's black, and deal with astronomy and astrology. As we have a new artist come up, that are not as threatening, not as intimidating, not fighting for rights and power, and not really having a deep message. That's who they're being replaced by, and they have to do the party talk for the rituals, and they don't mind. Their industry plants to lure people in as the older, more solid, more intelligent ones that they're not letting get a play. I don't know why Black Rob, the one that did the song that was with Diddy, did the song like Whoa. That was one of his biggest. Him and Shine came up to me today. So that means it's something going on the other side and something coming up about Diddy, because I didn't know that Black Rob, was it last year, a couple of years ago, was living in Atlanta, and people here were taking care of him that owned a juice bar, and he was getting juicing every day because he had some type of real bad disease or illness affecting his lungs and upper respiratory, and said Diddy stole his money. And Diddy said now he was smoking crack up there in the recording booth, and that he blew his money and had all them baby mamas. But we know him, and I'm sure if we could see his contracts and his agreements, Diddy didn't give him the rights to all of his music, just like he did Danny Kane and everybody else that ended up, and Craig McFly. I think he was associated with Craig McFly in your ear. All them people got fucked over, and then when they spoke out about it or he dropped their contract, they end up cashing them out by taking their life from them, coming up dead, or because he put demons on these people. And when they freak off victims and shit, and still didn't get no, end up having diseases and dying off in drug because them spirits on them that crave that shit. I don't know why Black Rob came here today, but I think he died in Atlanta. He was living in Atlanta. I'm not sure if he was buried here. He's talking about, so that must mean something else gonna come up around Diddy, or some other victims, or somebody gonna come out and tell something, or it's gonna be another lawsuit and exposure as well. I saw a video on Tisa Tells that Kim Porter daddy was speaking out and saying that he never saw Diddy beat his daughter ass, but said he saw some questionable things. But I don't know what he saw. Maybe he saw arguments or something, but claimed he didn't see that and didn't say nothing till now. I wonder, was her daddy, what kind of daddy was he? How could he not see that and not know? Or was Diddy breaking him off? Was he getting broke off in the ass, wearing some white fingernail polish and shit? Was he one of the freak off victims, goddamn it? Or was Diddy giving him some goddamn money to sell his own fucking daughter out? Just like Tina Turner mama was taking money from Ike Turner and knowing she was getting beat up and abused, and told her to take her ass back over there when she tried to leave one night and came to her mama for help. He was paying the mama off. The mama was prostituting her own motherfucking daughter. I wonder, was Kim Porter daddy and some kind of cahoots with Diddy to say you don't know? And what I wonder, did Kim Porter not tell her daddy that he over there whooping her ass, and then said Kim Porter got tired and got them started whooping his ass back? So they said she started putting hands and paws on him the same way he was motherfucking kicking her ass. And the daddy claimed he didn't know none of that shit. But you love your daughter and you close to your daughter. Is it because you like the three motherfucking blind monkeys? See no, hear no, speak no, cause this nigga is breaking you off in the ass or breaking you off in the pocket. I mean, so what now? You said good vibes. Talk about he gave them publishing because they not worth nothing. He didn't give all them they publishing. He didn't give all them rights. He came up with that shit a couple of years ago and came to Danny Kane them. And like the girl Aubrey, that's the most famous of the group, she said in exchange for that, she could not. She had to sign a non-disclosure, not tell on him and about the dirty shit he did, could not tell nothing about Sony, and could not tell nothing on Diddy Mama. So he wasn't just giving them they publishing. He was still extorting and blackmailing them in exchange for, and I don't think Aubrey signed it. And I don't think the other two members signed that shit because they could never reveal how dirty. Sell it for $900. Get the fuck up out of here. I mean, yeah. This is what it basically confirmed. All this shit confirmed what I have been saying that Nipsey told me for the past 5 years about him, and he know they set him up and that they sacrificed him. He didn't realize he was going to be sacrificed until he had already signed the non-disclosures, not to tell really how his baby mama is, not to tell how Diddy is. He had to suffer because he was about right, and he was about intestinal fortitude, and he was strong, and he was about telling the truth. And they really never wanted Nipsey to be a star, because they knew he was about being self-sufficient and independent and taking care of the community, taking care of his people. That's how Eritrean and Ethiopian live. They daddy was big on that shit and still lives. That's how they teach each other. See, and he just wasn't with exploiting and robbing and taking advantage of his own people, and they didn't like that, and they couldn't. Diddy couldn't control him and go up in that boy ass and ass rape and gang rape that man and get him to fuck no goddamn boys, and he wouldn't give Diddy none of that thing. He liked fucking bitches. See, they didn't like that because they couldn't get that man to lower himself and compromise himself. So he really didn't understand that and know how these people are. He looked up to his elders and respectable and deep in the game. I mean, I just still can't get that. That shit give me chills get out my mind when he was up there telling Puff he was had so much respect for Puff and looking up to him. I don't know why this nigga didn't know that was a dirty ass, fag ass killer. And he said, yeah, I'm working with Diddy, and I told Diddy, I need that Biggie vibe, on that album that what he called that goddamn shit, that last one he did about that Death album. I just like, why would you ask for that vibe from this nigga? Because this is what this nigga like to do: pimp people, fuck them, extort them, and murder them. Like, you didn't. I don't know why Nipsey didn't see that. And then he down here in Atlanta with him at the mansions. They doing freak offs down here. And then he comes over. He just it's so much. The day he got shot is when he came and started telling me all this stuff. And I'm just like, what? He said, I couldn't say that. They had me jammed up. They was threatening my life. They told me they were going to kill me. Right before they did, they was taunting him and tormenting him and putting the word out. Yeah, life after death. He said he wanted that vibe. I don't know what that baby. I don't know what wrong with that child. Why he said that he wanted that vibe. Lord Jesus. Yep, and that's what they did too. So I wanted to tell y'all that little bit. So I'll come back when I can. Love y'all.